Why shouldn't I let the police search my car? I have nothing to hide. Other than that, it's your Fourth Amendment right against unlawful search and seizure. I'm gonna give you 3 real life examples because I think those stick better. One is the case we had, and it actually involves a boat, but hang in there with me. I think it's really relevant. So a guy was driving his boat through a 3-hour storm and he was exhausted. He got into the marina, he docked, and he went down below, cracked open a beer, and had 3 sips. He then goes above deck to start cleaning up, and some officers pull up. They're going around to each boat asking if they can do a search. And the guy's thinking, yeah, why not? I have nothing to hide. So the police search his boat and they find the cracked can of beer. And they ask him to do FSCs, which is essentially like, the hit the nose, you walk in a line. But our client has a medical condition that makes it really hard for him to do those things. He let them know about his medical condition and agreed to do the FSCs and then failed them. They then asked him to blow into a breathalyzer, which he did, and he blew a 00 and a 00. And you would think, oh, well, that ends there. No, clink, clink. They arrested him, brought him down to the jail to do a urine test. It takes months to do the urine test, but it ends up coming back clean. He now has an arrest on his record and had wasted months of his life dealing with the stress of this and hiring attorneys. When initially, the police officers had no reasonable suspicion or what they needed probable cause to search his boat in the first place. But because he consented to everything, there's nothing we could really argue. Another example, we had a client who was driving and got pulled over. They asked, can I search your vehicle? And she said, sure, I've got nothing to hide. Little did she know she had a friend in her car a couple weeks prior whose medicine bottle had rolled out of her bag to underneath the seat. Remember, these officers are not gentle when they're searching a vehicle. They sometimes literally tear it up. And they found that prescription bottle and arrested her. It was a whole situation that may have been avoided if she hadn't just freely consented to the search. And lastly, I will use a real life example from myself. I was not a drinker in college, so I was always the DD. When I was 20, I would have so many different people in my car shuttling us from place to place. One day I was cleaning out my car and I noticed that in the backseat in that little storage, there was actually a beer tucked in and hidden away from someone who had been riding in my backseat. I had no idea that was there for weeks. And if I had gotten pulled over and just freely consented to a search of my vehicle, they would have found that and arrested me. The moral of that story is you never really know what's in your car.